In this video, I'm going to be previewing the Sixers game tonight against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Let's get into it. So the Sixers are coming off two straight losses against good Western Conference teams. So they will look to close their road trip on a high note with a win tonight in Cleveland. Those losses coming versus the Clippers and the Nuggets. The Nuggets, in my opinion, was probably the worst loss of the season. I don't think there's any one area where the Sixers did anything well, so you would hope to see tonight that they come out with a little bit more effort than they did in that game and try to close their road trip out on a win, especially since they have not beaten the Cavaliers yet this season. Some keys to winning this game, in my opinion, are to start fast. As you can see in the last games and the games where we struggle, starting slow is one of the main issues that you see with the Sixers. So against the Nuggets, for example, they didn't come out with any sort of they didn't score well in the beginning of the game. They didn't play good defense in the beginning of the game. They just came out lazy. They looked like they were playing effortless and they were just going through the motions of that game. And you would definitely hope to see a pickup in intensity and energy in this game. Another key is Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris both coming to play. So you see Ben Simmons recently, since the All-Star break, has not played as well as he should be. He was playing very, very well up to the All-Star break, and then ever since then, he's kind of slowed down a little bit and been struggling. So you see inconsistencies. So the other night versus Denver, he had, I think, 11 points on 4 for 7 shooting. You can't only shoot 7 shots in a game being one of the best players on your team who is shorthanded already without Joel Embiid. But then against the Warriors, I think he had 22 points. So we need to see more consistency from Ben Simmons. Just give us what you know. Give us what we know you can do offensively. And with Tobias Harris, you see typically he's a little bit more consistent, but last game he came out, he only shot the ball 13 times. I think he had only 12 points. He didn't get to the line one time. And they both didn't do very well on the glass and just didn't do very many other things well at all. So that just shows a lack of effort. So again, my main focus of this game is having the Sixers come out with more energy and intensity than they did in the last couple games. My final main key to victory tonight for the Sixers is to limit the turnovers. The turnovers have been one of the Sixers' biggest issues over the entire season. I believe Ben Simmons turns the ball over too much, especially recently. He's been turning it over too much, and you just see instances where they get caught up in the air and they throw the ball away. And you saw in that first game of the season against Cleveland, in which we lost, turnovers were a big issue in that game. And going back to what I said about starting fast, you need to start fast because in that game against Cleveland, I think a month ago or so, a little bit before the All-Star break, they came out, they were slow, they didn't play great to start the game, and it allowed the Cavaliers to stay in the game, and they ended up winning that game in overtime. So you just hope to see the Sixers come out with a different mentality than they did in those games and focus on protecting the ball, not turning it over, because that's been one of their issues recently and throughout the entire season. One of the things you hope to see the Sixers do in this game is to contain the backcourt of Sexton and Garland. You see in the last game that we played, they absolutely destroyed us. We had no answer for them. I think Garland had the best game of his season, that game at least up until that point. So you can't have that happen and expect to win games. Like I said, you have to start fast, get out to an early lead, and then hold that lead. The Sixers can do. The Sixers have been up atop of the Eastern Conference all season until just last night when the Brooklyn Nets, I think, passed us, and they're now a half-game lead ahead of us. But the Sixers can still do what they can do and just win games to try to stay there until Joel Embiid will come back this Saturday. So look forward to that, because obviously Joel Embiid is the MVP frontrunner, in my opinion, and is definitely an MVP candidate. He's been playing dominant all season, so when he comes back, it's going to be a much easier stretch of games just because of the fact that he is in the lineup. So let's just hope that we can win this game to hold it down and have a successful winning record on this road trip. And then when Joel Embiid comes back, look to build on that and hope the Sixers can get back in first place in the Eastern Conference. I do believe that the Sixers will get this win tonight versus the Cavaliers. I do believe they're down Jarrett Allen, and although we are still down Joel Embiid and George Hill, who's not even played for the Sixers yet, we will feel that sense of urgency that I've been talking about this whole video. Know that we need to come out and we need to win this game, especially since we haven't beaten them yet this season, and we're coming off 2 straight road losses, and we need to just get a win and get back home If you want to see more content like this, game previews, sports talk, sports highlight mixes, and hype videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and leave a comment down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.